Alrighty, let's get into this after party right now. So much to talk about. Oh boy, we did it. Here we go here. Let's see if I can find the mode that I need to be in. 3, 2, 1. That's the camera. Hold on, folks. We're coming to you. In 3, 2, 1. There I am. Put in a little bit here. Little green screen Dave here. Oh my gosh. What a night. What a night. So much to talk about. Hello, everyone. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News, and we've got a Bachelor after show live chat for you. Can everyone hear me okay? We got a subathon. Make sure to subscribe for a nice bonus live stream tonight. Cheers to everyone. It's Diet Coke gang. And we are going to have lots of voicemails to get to tonight. Lots of voicemails. Let's do the voicemail button here. So you can call the voicemail line right up there. And by all means, make sure to like this video to let the YouTube algorithm know that we mean business. I'm going to try to put some here. How about the end? Now, obviously, we had a sort of technical difficulty tonight. Gosh, I'm having a hard time. We had a technical difficulty tonight with the sound on the Bachelor show. So, as you guys know, I'm one with the sound department. I know how tough it can be with live TV. So, they re-aired the scene that we couldn't hear because of the audio. Leave a comment, guys. Was anyone in a market where it actually worked? Hold on one second here. Go to Cindy already wants to know, why is he waiting till 2025? All right. Mary said that was such a dramatic yet boring finale. Well, which one was it? Was it dramatic or was it boring? JC Miles says, what's with ABC's audio issues? Yeah, I don't know. Live TV. I'm sure they don't, but it's not like, they figure it out, right? So anyway, folks, oh, some of you guys didn't have audio problems? Interesting. Yeah, Kristen, on my stream, the sound didn't work, and then they replayed it. So it makes me wonder if there was some sort of issue and they cut another segment out. Obviously, it looks like they cut out the segment where... you hate to say it, but it's almost like Gabby got stiffed again. So, we got a lot going on tonight. And it's going to be a nice long one. We're going to have fun. So, if you're new to my channel, we play music. We listen to your voicemails. Call in, but make it good, baby. Give me that good stuff. 401-213-9828. That's 401-213-9828. Thumbs up always works for me. Hit the like button an odd number of times, preferably once, but if you must do it 7 times, don't let me stop you. And here's how I'm going to do this subathon. So a subathon is I will keep my live stream going if you guys keep subscribing. I'm looking to get to 64,500 subscribers. That's what we're looking for. I'll let you guys know where we are right now. Right now, we're at 66,287, and that's not the right button. So hold on here. So what happens is I take my whole live stream, I take my computer off of all the different monitors, I go in my other room, I watch the show, then I run back in here and have 2 minutes to plug everything in. None of the wires work, as you guys know, but that's part of the charm, right? Speaking of wires not working, Zach's wires are working, apparently too well. And what a heart-wrenching scene we saw there with Gabby. We saw Ariel and Gabby really give it to him. Really give it to them. We'll be analyzing their words they've used. And a lot of people said, "Oh, Gabby should be the Bachelorette." Listen, maybe if they had another month, but Gabby's feeling a certain way. I don't blame her. The Bachelorette's already been filming for a week, so yeah, I don't see that happening anytime too soon. So, if you're already a subscriber and you want to donate to the Super Chat, you can do that as well. No pressure. I will make Super Chat comments a priority just because we're going to have a lot of comments coming in tonight. And shout out to all of our wonderful moderators. If you feel like someone's spamming or trolling, just ban them. Bruce says, fix your banner. It says 64,000. Yes, you are very right. Let's go for 66,500. Sorry about that, Bruce. Thank you so much. Boy. Yeah. Yeah, Sarah, they replayed the scene. Thank you guys for, okay, I see all the typos now. All right, good. I'll try to keep it up to date. Yeah, I passed that target so fast. All right, anyway, let's go to some of your voicemails. And also, if you, let's see, let's keep it at that for now. And we have over 500 people in the chat. I think we'll get over 1,000 tonight. We'll have to see how it all plays out. But I'm going to start taking your voicemails right now, and then you guys can listen to them, and we'll all have fun. How does that sound? So let's, just give me a second here to work through it all. Because there are a lot of buttons going on. Loosen up your buttons. Loosen up your buttons. Okay. All right. Let's go to our moderator with the the most our most Oregon. How do I phrase this here? The Bruce. Boy, I'm sober. I didn't even have an edible tonight. Here we go.
Bruce from Oregon. Dave, if you had 3 potato skins, and you were looking at them, and you were trying not to eat them, and you said to yourself, I'm not going to eat any of these 3 potato skins. But then, you started watching the Bachelor finale, and you were just like, well, I got to eat one of these. Would you tell the other 2 potato skins that you ate the first one? I don't know. Let me know. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
I see what you're doing. You're using potato as a metaphor for sex. Look, if you're gonna hook up with one of the 3 potato skins, all the potato skins should know what your plan is. Now, we got some great comments. Michelle Zito says, Gabby dropping that bomb that she learned while watching on TV that he told the whole damn world. OMG. Oh, my God. That is right. Yeah, that was a bomb. That was a truth bomb, as the kids say. Yeah, Gabby, that's what kind of can sting, because a lot of times as audience, we don't know, right? We don't know. What do they know? What have they been told? Maybe he told Gabby, but they didn't share it. Maybe all these different things. Gabby lets us know right then, right there, that she's finding out with the rest of us. And she says, in that moment, it was no longer just a TV show. All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right.
Dave, it's me again. Damiana ATL.
All right, hold on. We did multiple phone calls here. When there's multiple phone calls, I get so lost. Hold on. I can only play phone calls that are less than a minute long. I have to stick to it when I have a heavy workload. I'll get to you, I promise.
Hey, Dave. I'm calling from New Jersey. I just have this one thing to say. It just feels like everyone on Twitter is going off on Jesse, and they just keep saying, well, they should have given Gabby more minutes, or he cut them off. He didn't let her speak. Are people forgetting this is the producer-ran show and it's live TV, and they're in Jesse's ear telling him? I think people are just forgetting this and just loving to blame someone. There are moments where we have to remember it's a reality show, and these are the moments where we have to remember. Just would love your thoughts on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Right, bye.
Okay, so here's what people don't understand. Jesse has an ear monitor in, kind of like I'm wearing now, and there's a producer. Generally, it's like the head producer. There is somebody on a walkie-talkie, and when Gabby's talking for 3 minutes, God bless her soul, when she's talking, the producer's talking to Jesse saying, all right, wrap it up. Ask about the sex. Do this, do that. All right, go to commercial. Jesse's just an actor who speaks, okay? So, yeah, don't blame Jesse. I know it's easier because we don't know what the producers look or sound like, but Jesse is just a guy collecting a paycheck. And here we have Jason Tartik says, go back to back to back Bachelorettes. Charity to Gabby to Ariel. Put the guys on the back burner. Jason Tartik pulling an Oprah. You get a Bachelorette. You get a Bachelorette. Everybody Bachelorettes. Everybody Bachelorette. Okay. Already got the burps. Okay, let's keep this party going. Yeah. Anyone criticizing Jesse Palmer for his line of questioning just doesn't understand how TV works. All right, I'm going through phone call voicemails that are less than a minute long.
Hello, this is Sabine from Canada. My main question for you this evening is, how do you feel Jesse did as a host? had to handle a lot of different elements this evening. From the get-go, the first moments with the very sad acknowledgement of what happened in Nashville to really awkward interviews with the past contestants and him moving the conversation along while Gabby is crying. I don't know. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah, like I said, Jesse, I mean, when Nick Viall was like, what does Jesse know about hosting The Bachelor, right? Well, he's worked, it's almost more of a technical issue. Having worked in TV before, live sports, things like that, he's battle tested when it comes to knowing how to work when it's live, when you don't get a second take. He had one joke fall flat, but that's totally fine. He had some joke about pearl necklace. What was that about? I didn't know what that was about. I'm not even going to criticize him for that, but I thought he did very, very well. I mean, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing that, and it's statistically not that rare that a shooting would happen on the day of a live event. Statistically, that's just not rare, sadly. And I don't mean that to make any light of a situation. It's just, that's where we are in this world. For Jesse to mention that has to be tough. Also, to know like how long it wasn't a moment of silence, and what do you do? It's like, how do you even address the world that we live in? Good question. I don't have an answer to it, but I thought Jesse did a good job. I mean, I'd give him an A- because I feel like there's always room to improve. And by the way, Sabine, thank you so much for the super chat. I just wrote you down. I rounded up to 7. So Sabine is good for 7 subscribers right there on the super chat. All right, let's go to next voicemail. And let's go to our good friend Celeste in Beeville, Texas.
Hey, Dave. It's me, Celeste. I'm calling from Beeville, Texas. And tonight's finale was absolutely wild and so emotional. I mean, I feel really bad for Gabby. Like, it was so hard to watch her. Like, she is a real baller. I mean, for her to, express herself with such poise and like, just raw honesty, it was really telling. But I wish her nothing but the best. But Ariel, man, she really delivered the spice. I mean, she set Zach straight, and I really liked how Zach, was still upfront with his apology and everything. I think that was really nice of him. And the proposal, I mean, it was amazing. We finally got a proposal since Peter Weber's season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we get proposals. We just had them on The Bachelorette, Namely, I'm thinking of, Nate and Blake Moynes. By the way, we're going to have a Blake Horstman story tomorrow. I got something brewing. Not a bad thing on his end, but we are team Blake Horstman for sure. That's another story. Maybe we'll get to that in a bit. Long way to Tipperary, am I pronouncing that right? With a $5. All right, I wrote that down. That counts as 5 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Sarah. I am delayed in my responses, but I will be getting to all of our super chats out here. Someone, Dabu says, we get a 10-minute Sean Lowe segment, but have to cut off Gabby. Yeah, so the Sean Lowe segment happened before they had the issue with the sound. The sound issue clearly cut up 10 minutes. They had to take 10 minutes out of the show. So they didn't just cut off Gabby, they cut off the after the final rose. The whole thing was delayed there. But they have plans for that. That's just kind of how it works. Goose Con Gaming says, why are they making a big deal about one sexual encounter? They aren't all versions. I think the big deal is that the encounter, the sexual encounter wasn't the problem. It was the fact that Gabby trusted Zach's, that he wouldn't talk about it. And it's one thing to talk about it amongst your friends. It's another thing to talk about it on TV where, unfortunately people aren't going to be as nuanced as Gabby might be. Teresa with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Teresa, there. I'm going to log you down for 10 subscribers for Teresa. Thank you so much. Let's see. Do we have another Kim calling?
Hi, this is Kim calling from Iowa. Wondering what it kind of happened with the Just conspiracy theory.
The Jess conspiracy theory. That's a good question. We're going to get into the Jess conspiracy theory. We'll see if there's a statement by Chicks in the Office. Of course, that conspiracy, if you weren't checking out beforehand, the conspiracy was that Jess from The Office was going to be the actual winner. Rhea says this, Bachelor Nation owes Rhea a thank you because it was the only thing that got me through the 3 hours. Someone else's words. I don't know about that, Rhea. I mean, yeah, look. So Rhea had this story, which was completely wrong. Hold on, here it is.
Oh my god, it was
So look, she has the clown outfit on right there. How funny is this? That's Rhea wearing the clown outfit. This is the moment she realizes her big spoiler that Jess was the winner is wrong.
Oh my god, it was
All right. And everyone's crediting Rhea for making it more interesting. I don't know. I don't know if she really contributed that much to how interesting it was. But either way, let's go to another voicemail. We'll be playing your voicemails all night long. Let's go to Renee calling from Maryland.
Hi, good evening. This is Renee calling from Owings Mills, Maryland. And I just wanted to make a comment that Gabby has stated that she didn't realize until she watched the show that he actually informed who he had relations with. He used her name. But on the episode, she has stated to the other young lady who was left that she felt as though she was wearing a scarlet letter on her, the letter A. So I was thinking like, well, she kind of told right then and there. I mean, unless I'm missing something. Okay, thank you. Bye.
It's a great question. It's a great question here. Thank you so much, Renee calling from Maryland. Says this, and I gotta play this when we have Renee from Maryland. She says, how did Gabby find out on TV last week that Zach had talked about her being, intimate when she said to Katie she feels like she has a scarlet A? Either way, I feel bad for Gabby, regardless of whether or not she knew it or was hoping. But I think it was the idea that Gabby, man, it's hard to go back on. It's really hard to go back on, trying to piece it all together with all the editing. All right, let's go to Jill in Toronto.
Hi, Dave. It's Jill from just outside Toronto. I am just watching the pre-show, and I was laughing my ass off at the bit you did on male contouring. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
And I would love to go see a show sometime. So if you're ever in the Toronto or Niagara Falls area and you're up in Canada, please let us know ahead of time because I'd love to catch a show. Anyways, goodbye.
Thank you so much, Jill from Toronto. Well, that wasn't even a bit. That was just some crowd work, but I appreciate you. I didn't realize I accidentally dipped into the pre-show comments. Let's go to our good friend Jen in Hamilton, Ontario. Jen, you been drinking tonight?
Hey, Dave. It's Mrs. B from Hamilton, and so I'm in this fun place with my mom right now where we're friends because now I'm in a married adult. And as far as I know, my parents only had sex twice, once to make me and once to make my brother. So we've been having this super fun conversation about how could you sit on that stage and be all in for Katie and how happy she was after you just banged Gabby. It just does not compute with either of our brains. And my mom's never watched The Bachelor before, but she watched this episode with me tonight. So, that was super fun. And she thinks that they're cute together, but how? What? Huh? Okay. Have a good night, Dave Nation. Have a great freaking night. Love y'all. Bye.
Dave Nation. All right, we have Dave Nation. I actually like Dave Nation. I never thought of that. Dave Nation. All right. Yeah, Jen, thanks for calling. I mean, look, yeah, we all know parents don't fornicate, right? That's just a myth.
Hey, Dave, this is Bree from Atlanta, Georgia. Going to keep it short and sweet. Heart broke for Gabby. I was tearing up. Truly an emotional scene. I would love for her to be the Bachelorette, but I think she needs time to heal. Loved Ariel. She really articulated herself well to Zach, and would love her for Bachelorette as well. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, look, I mean, they would both be good for sure. They would both be good. I'm trying to move this over here where we can get it right up in the corner there. There it is. Voicemail 401-213-9828. You know, actually, we don't have that many voicemails, so if anyone wants to call in, I am getting to the voicemails. I don't think we have too many right now, so feel free to call in your thoughts. Let's go to Courtney in New York City.
Hey, Dave, it's Courtney Henley in New York City that was giving you shit about the Christian thing earlier. Anyway, hey, I don't know, is it me or does Gabby remind you of the girl from the movie Orphan? I can't unsee that. I hate the hair. It just makes me think of that. I just thought that you would appreciate that as a comedian.
Orphan. Okay, is Gabby the girl from the movie Orphan? I haven't even seen this movie. Oh, but I'm getting a nightmare. Are you talking about this? You're saying Gabby looks like this terrifying monster child? I mean, she's a cute child here, but by all means, this is gonna haunt my dreams. I don't know if I've seen Orphan. There's something wrong with Esther. So you think Gabby looks like Esther from Orphan? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a, they're both, I don't know. Oh, hold on a second here. All right, let's go to some more voicemails here. Don't mind me. David in New York, you're up.
Hey, Dave. It's David from New York. Illinois. Actually, I'm in Hawaii right now, so I'm going to catch the later feed, but I'm listening to your live coverage. Hey, my sense is that, either...
I love that you called it live coverage, as if any of this matters. Appreciate you, Dave in Hawaii.
The Bachelor or producers switch up the format for these overnights, or, if I were in the lead role, I would just have a huddle with the three individuals and say, how do you want to handle this? Because it seems like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And I would just get all of that out of the way up front. And I think that's the easiest way to deal with what is becoming a really awkward situation. That's all from me. Bye.
Thank you so much, David, calling from the island state of Hawaii. Thank you again so much for joining our live coverage there, David. Any other Daves want to call in? So, yeah, look, the way they deal with fantasy suites, it's changed a lot because it's like you're damned if you're going to hook up with somebody that's not your final pick, you're going to face consequences. It used to be that you didn't face consequences from the audience. It used to be you'd face consequences by your relationship just not working out. Now the consequences obviously come from people being like, hey, that's really messed up. The part where the way that Gabby described this is Gabby's little sister here from Orphan. Everyone's saying I got to watch the movie Orphan. My wife absolutely hates scary movies. Is it scary? It looks pretty scary. Although she's got the the leaky eye shadow, mascara thing going on. That always works well with the Bachelor world. Either way, that's neither here nor there. I don't know. It's one of those things. Could they change the formula up? Yes. Does the formula lead to crazy dramatic ratings? Yes. So we need to cope with the moral challenge of, are we going to keep watching a show? I am. Where we put people through psychological torture, which is what it is. Or are we going to boycott it and have it not happen? You know what I mean? In the end, I hate to say it this way, but they're usually, the people that go on the show are usually better off afterwards because they learn a lot about themselves. They learn how to be a better version of themselves. They seek therapy and all these other things. With that said, the show flies close to the sun. And there have been people that have been on the show that have self-harmed, and that is not exactly a win for the show whatsoever. So, but, everyone has autonomy. And one of our commenters said, Gabby forced Zach to have sex. Come on. Look, if you're gonna make assumptions, let's lean on the side of the assumption that is a little bit more graceful than assuming that Gabby was this horrible person and Zach just couldn't say no. Come on.
Hi, this is Dee in Philadelphia.
So many D's.
And I thought what the show and the host did to Gabby was just unconscionable. And Zach was bad, but the show was also just terrible. That was brutal what they put her through tonight.
True.
And to make her watch that and then say, how do you feel watching it? And then Jesse treating it like it's just a piece of TV. It's just a piece of TV. And she was falling apart in front of them. Who cared about the engagement after that? And I'm not sure I can watch this show in the future. Thanks.
Wow, we've got in D in Philadelphia. I appreciate you calling. Yeah, it was tough to watch. It was tough to watch, and it wasn't like Gabby shows up to the after the final rose and feels perfectly fine about it. Gabby does not feel perfectly fine about it. She's going through it, and I think Bachelor Nation will rally around her, and hopefully she feels a little bit better. I just want to address this quick because I don't want to overly address any negativity here, but Tapping the Source says the mods are massive cucks. I complimented Gabby, and these sensitive mods act like church nuns. Dave Neal in Toronto 2023. With all due respect, Tapping the Source, we are not trying to I read your comment. It was you referenced Gabby's tits. We're not just don't do that. They're not cucks. Those are under my orders to keep it clean and not have any potential conversations go down the wrong rabbit hole. We only have so much time here. I don't want to waste my time addressing things like that. Not banning you though. Not banning you because I don't think you mean any harm. I'm just letting you know this is like a bus station. We're all in a bus station right now, and we just have to kind of try to keep it as calm as possible because these bigger live streams can get out of hand. And if I'm going to be reading everyone's comments, which I like to do, we have to have some sort of morality there. All right, Carlene in Staten Island, you're up.
Hey, it's Carlene from Staten Island. I'm just piggybacking on the call that just came in about Gabby saying that she didn't realize her name was going to be used, and I'm a little bit dubious of that as well. Not only because she mentioned the Scarlet A, but she also must know because she was being filmed when Zach was telling her that he was going to do this. So no matter what, she knew that her face could be used to say he was going to express this to the other ladies. So yeah, I do believe it's a little bit disingenuous to say that she didn't know. But at the same time, I think that she deserves grace. Zach deserves grace. Katie deserves grace. I just hope everyone leaves all these people alone and doesn't make their life more hard than it has to be. All right. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the call. And we've got about 8 voicemails here. So if anyone wants to leave a voicemail, now's your chance. 401-213-9828. I want to make sure there was one voicemail earlier that I actually skipped over because it was, let's go. Oh, it's Damiana. Let's go to Damiana.
Hey, Dave. This is Damiana. ATL. Okay, so really quickly. One, that whole bit with Charity's brother, undercover brother. Beautiful class.
Yes, the undercover brother with Charity's brother is amazing. Tasha, my wife, goes, "Oh, they jumped the shark," which is ridiculous, and it is. But an amazing. I've been saying this for so long that they should have someone sort of undercover, incognito, that is there to sift out some of the dead weight. I love it.
Sick, love it. Very cute. But about tonight, I will say this. The producers should have done either join in progress when they had the sound issue, and because they decided to go back and show what we missed, which was nothing, they could have just cut out a segment, i.e. Sean and his wife. Cut that segment out, give it to Gabby's segment, and allowed her to just explain herself more because there was more to tell there. And I felt so bad for her, which leads me to the last thing, which is, did he just admit on air that he always knew it was Katie And if that's true, which we know it is in many cases where the lead already knows, then I really do feel bad for Gabby because he slept with her, you know? And of course she's getting dragged online. So, but yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thanks so much. Damiana in Atlanta. Great questions. So the question was this. Did Zach admit, and I was listening for this too, did Zach admit, because Jesse asked Zach right at the end. Let's rewind. Ooh, okay, so here's what went down, right? Gabby says to Zach, when did you know it wasn't me? Because Gabby's trying to get that timeline down because we all become detectives, and that makes sense. And then and he goes, I didn't know it was you. I didn't know it was going to be Katie till the very last day. Well, when then Katie comes out, you know, Zach, she said yes, they propose, all that, cries, tears, Thailand. When Jesse asks Zach, when did you know? He does that like whispery, Jesse, when did you know? And Zach's, pray for Dave. Dave Neal needs Jesus. Zach's response was, I knew on the last date, and then it turns out it was always you. He did one of those like cliche lines, it was always you, but I'm not willing to say that Zach felt like it was always Katie. Whether or not that's true or not, I'm really not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of lean on the fact that Zach's he tried his best. Sydney says Zach deserves grace. Well, that's the thing with grace, right? Grace is the irony with grace is we need to be able to give people grace when we don't think they deserve it, because grace isn't about them. It's about you and I. I don't say that from a place of any moral superiority. If there's ever a moment where I'm having a hard time giving grace to somebody else, I have to remember I'm giving that. That is my gift. That is something I can do. So when I say Zach deserves grace, I don't mean it as in anyone deserves grace more than the other. I mean, we all do, and it's important to show it in times when we're really being challenged. It's almost like when you're protecting the First Amendment right, and you have to protect someone that you don't like, as a lawyer or as whatever. Society. This might be a bad example, but you have to protect people that. I hate to. No, I don't want to make this a weird example, but you guys get my point. So it's giving grace to someone when it's difficult. That's when we really have to practice it. Did I play this one yet?
Bruce from Oregon. Dave, during the season I noticed Gabby talking a lot about second place or being picked second. And I feel like in life it takes a while. You figure out you got to stop measuring yourself against other people and measure your own accomplishments and progress against yourself. Always be moving forward. Thoughts? Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, look, it's, what do they say? Compare is despair. And if anyone follows me on Patreon, I struggle with this myself. I've always struggled with that. I'm a highly analytical person. How many social media follows do you have? How many stand-up shows are you getting? How many laughs per minute do you have? How's that hairline looking? Are your teeth white enough? Like, we compare is despair. And we think sometimes we're doing the right thing by how do I put this? Gabby probably suffers from something that a lot of us suffer from, which is living in a world where we're showing our perfection on social media and all these other things. And all I say to Gabby, if she's out there listening, I would suggest learning some mantras that I love, which is I am enough, I have enough, I want to share it. I also have a lot of Diet Coke in my belly. The idea that you are enough in any situation and being less worried about coming in second place. If you're so worried about coming in second place, you're still thinking that it is a race. And that's what was kind of tough. I know Jesse was trying to calm her, and Jesse was like, you'll find someone you'll love soon. It's like, find that person within. You know what I mean? Relationships are dessert, not the main course. Find that person within. If anyone's out there and they're not satisfied with who they are or the direction they're going, invest in yourself. That is your business. You have to make yourself the best version of yourself. Not a better, not by looking in other people's, windows and seeing what they're doing, but valuing your time, spending it enriching yourself, studying up on all the ways you can improve yourself and going to therapy and all those things. Absolutely. Oh, Janelle Hill just got off a 16-hour shift in the emergency room, and I have no idea what happened. Well, Janelle, I'm going to give you the standard 1-minute recap. Should we do a timer for this? Let's do a 1-minute timer here, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened in less than a minute. Hold on, let's do a stopwatch here. You guys ready to go? All right, so Ariel got dumped. She was the first one to come out, and she was like, oh man, he messed with the wrong person. And then Zach comes out, and he's like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, you might be sorry, but let me tell you how it really is. And she just eviscerates him, and of course, she goes her way. And then we have this kind of whole thing where then Jesse starts to talk, and then the audio and then they replay that whole scene again, and then it pushed the whole schedule back, and then Rhea's like, I wonder if Jess Gerard's going to be the girl, and it's not, and how much time do I have left? 30 seconds. So then Gabby's like, I feel like it's not going to be me, but I still got to go to the dang thing because I made it all the way to Thailand. I haven't slept all night. There's mud on the ground where they let me out. You better not let that mud come here for my girl Katie. And then he dumps Gabby, and she's like, and she's like, I don't want to hear it. She leaves, and then he falls in love with Katie, and then Gabby says, I'm still not over you, and that's the show, Undercover Brother. There it is, folks. All right, there's your 1-minute drill. You're welcome. And, okay, let's go to, one of our good friends, Linda in Indianapolis.
Hi, Dave. It's Linda from Indianapolis, your adopted aunt. We made it through another season of The Bachelor.
We did.
Can you believe it? We did it.
Another one.
Well, it was good, It's beginning to be the same old, ain't it? Talk to you later, Dave.
I didn't catch the last one, but I love it. Linda from Indy goes, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Was it the best season ever? No. Could it have been less dramatic? Yes, I thought it was pretty dramatic. Let's go to Lexi in Minnesota.
Hey, my name is Lexi. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I am dying at the fact that woman said that she looks like the girl from The Orphan, because she totally does. But anyway, I just didn't understand how Zach was saying he knew that Katie was the one when he really looked back at it, but had just been telling Gabby that he was falling in love with her. Very confused. Bye.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, we're all confused. Sherry's confused. Sherry from Rhode Island, currently in Delaware, I believe, has a conspiracy. She says, I do not believe the sound issues were an accident. I think there was a big scramble to try to ease this situation for Zach. I assure you, Sherry, I don't think that's the case. Although I like a good conspiracy. I really do. All right, let's go to Canada.
Hello, Sabine from Canada. Am I the only one who got really excited about the Undercover Brother segment they're going to do for charity season? I'm surprised, but they really got me with the sneak peek. Anyways, bye.
No, you're not the only one. I mean, honestly, I think, with all of the stupid gimmicks that the show has, I think Undercover Brother was just an awesome choice. Is Charity's brother single? Because if he is, this could be his entrance into the whole, Bachelor universe. Oh, we haven't heard from anyone in the state of Louisiana recently. So let's listen to Trina in Louisiana.
Hey Dave, this is Trina from Louisiana, and I just wanted to say that I was so heartbroken for Gabby. I just knew when she was driving up that she knew she was not the one. And I also am so happy that she was able to say that her and Zach said that was a private moment between them, and he went and spread it to everybody. This is one reason the live show is needed. You can say what you want, and the producers will not cut it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trina.
And I wish Gabby the best of luck.
How kind. Thank you so much, Trina from Louisiana. I agree with you that Gabby, I mean, we wish her well, and hopefully she'll feel the outpouring of love and support from the audience, and not just the feeling of, I don't know, despair from all of the people that still think she's to blame. So anyway, I've got to tell you guys about my podcast, Bachelor Rush Hour. It comes out every afternoon. It is unique content, unlike anything I'm doing on YouTube. I'm making it completely customized for the audio experience. I recorded this interview with Reality Steve. It aired today. You can go download this right now and have a listen. We talk about how Reality Steve gets his spoilers, and if they're repeat customers, and when he got it wrong, and how he feels when the spoilers come in. It'll actually be probably pretty interesting to listen to my interview with him after the fact, knowing what we know now. But here, just have a quick listen to the trailer if you didn't catch it earlier today.
Works in the spoiler game. I have something that no one else on the internet can provide, so I definitely can monetize this, and I did. Bachelor thing just kind of fell into my lap. I was, when I was in college, I was never thinking like, man, my goal is to be the Bachelor spoiler guy. That's where Reality Steve brand was built.
The origin story.
Can you know in the back of your head if this doesn't work out? I could go back to my dad, yeah. I knew I could. We were selling blankets, throws, pillows, comforters. I was making a few thousand a month, and I'm like, okay, this is enough in 2011.
What percentage of your sources are repeat customers versus random out of the blue?
I'd say 90% are random out of the blue. Really, only my mother even follows what I do. My dad, I don't think, has listened to one podcast I've ever done.
Stay tuned for the origin story of Reality Steve, only on Bachelor Rush Hour podcast.
What up? This feels like a prostitution pickup.
It could be. Available in the Bachelor Rush Hour podcast. And by the way, I can't confirm this, but I might be in Las Vegas at Reality Steve's live meet and greet. But of course, there's other places to check me out. And also, so I want to thank everyone because we did get an influx of new subscribers to the podcast today. I'm going to be doing Drive with Daves with other Bachelor alumni. I want to get Rachel Lindsay and Susie Evans. There's a lot of people I want to talk to. They're all invited to sit a shotgun in my car and talk to me about whatever the hell we dang choose to talk about. All right, let's go to our friend Sherry right here.
Hey, Dave. It's Sherry, fellow Rhode Islander, transplanted now to Delaware. Anyway, I just wanted to say, and I've said it before in comments, that the one woman on that show that outclassed everybody, including Gabby, sorry to say, was Ariel.
Yeah.
Zach could no way in the world keep up with that girl if they did get together. I hope she shows up on Paradise and owns the place. Anyway, my voice is giving out again. Take care, sweetie. Love everybody on your show. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Sherry of Rhode Island in Delaware. Appreciate you. Yeah, Ariel, some people are saying she's too classy for Paradise. And I'm like, ain't nobody too classy for Paradise. I think she'll be on Paradise this year. Will Gabby be on Paradise this year? Well, she's got several months before she needs to make a decision. I think they ship them out in June, start filming in late June. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. All right, let's go back to Pennsylvania to Sarah in Pittsburgh.
Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm calling from Pittsburgh. I was just thinking maybe the next person should just mix it up and sleep with everyone because, especially as a woman, why not?
Sarah says, sleep with everybody. And I got to say, Sarah, I had the same thought where I was like, look, I said this hypothetical on Reality Steve's podcast, but it would be easier. Again, I know this is going to anger some people here. You're going to get your Puritan panties in a situation, but hypothetically, don't say everyone, but hypothetically, let's say on night one, and I know this will never happen, but imagine night one, Zach hooks up with Gabby. Let's just say they hooked up night one. That would be so much easier to write off if he ends up falling in love with Katie, and then they get married or whatever. Because it's like, oh, I didn't really know her. We just had this thing, you know, whatever. Like in today's modern society, most people start off by us. I mean, I shouldn't say most. A lot of people will start their relationship off sexually and then see if the other thing falls in. Everyone can do what they want with their bodies, consensually speaking. And for some people, it works out that way, where it's like, let's see if we vibe sexually and have a good attraction to each other. And then we'll talk about semantics. Like, can we can we go to Best Buy together on a Sunday? You know what I mean? But either way, I'd love to know what you guys think about that.
Hi, Dave. It's Stoots from Pennsylvania, Central Pennsylvania. Southeast Central Pennsylvania. That's all right. I've been distant lately. This new job I got, but this season...
We're so happy for Stoots and her new job. She was recently promoted at her new job. And Stoots also left a comment in the Facebook community page that she bonded with her dad over Bachelor this year. We always love to see some healthy family bonding over a TV show.
I've been watching you. I've been watching the hype and everything, the podcast. So congrats to everything. I've got a little package for you and Tasha that's coming a little soon. I'm going to send it here in a few days.
Okay.
From me, and to just celebrate the end of the season. So enjoy that. This season was awesome. I wish Katie and Zach the best. And yeah, all right. Have a good night. Bye.
Have a good night, Stoots. Thank you so much for the call. And you don't need to give us any packages, but if it's anything like some Aldi chocolate, we'll take it. By the way, the price of pistachios at Aldi's is only $4.99 for a bag. I just got a downvote for that. Who just downvoted my pistachio talk? Oh, I don't know. All right. Let's go to Steve in Kansas City, Missouri.
Hey, this is Steve from Kansas City, Missouri.
I said Steve because that's what my auto writing said, but I B, maybe it's B.
And I liked Gabby because she gave us some insight as to how production treats their people. I feel incredibly sad that she had to go through what she did on live TV. It's just wrong. I do think Zach felt horrible about it, and I don't think he's a bad guy. I think that it's funny that he would say that they're getting married in 2025, as if it's like tomorrow.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, I think we lost you there at the end. Yeah, he's getting married in 2025, which, look, I got engaged right before the pandemic. And then I didn't get married till nearly 3 years after my engagement. And let me tell you, when I say this, we weren't trying to push it off. We just waited for the pandemic and then, this and that. And we're like, all right, we better start looking. It's a slow and long process. So for him to say get married in 2025, that's the most Zach thing we've ever seen, because he's like, well, if you say 2024, then everyone's gonna be like, well, January 2020. It's like, let's just say 2025. If they change their mind and get married sooner, great. If they break up, who the hell really cares? Who really cares? You know what I mean? By the way, the subathon we're doing is a little bit lacking right now. We're at 66,304 subs. How it's going to work is I will extend the live stream if we can get to 66,500 subs. The way I'm doing that is for everyone who subscribes, that counts as one. But if you send in a super chat, that also counts as a subscriber. So right now we're at 66,304. So we got a little bit of a ways to go there. But I trust that we've got probably another 850 people in the chat right now. We can squeeze out a couple extra 100 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. It's free, and you'll also get all the information like stand-up show updates, when I'm going to be performing in your town, other, insightful information. I can tell you what, tomorrow we're going to have videos on Ariel and Gabby. We'll probably have complete different videos on both of them. We're also going to have a Blake Horstman video, as someone mentioned in the comment section. I had this information given to me 4 months ago, and it just made its way into the news that Blake has been sued, or at least maybe not. It's in the court right now, and it's $175,000, $150,000 lawsuit plus $25,000 in arbitration fees. So he's getting hit pretty hard by Bachelor producers. We'll have more on that tomorrow. Okay, let's go to the Midwest. Nicole in Ohio.
Hey, Dave, this is Nicole from Ohio. So I was flipping back between The Bachelor and The Voice, so let me know if I got this wrong.
This is The
But
Voice.
I think our honest Abe is a liar. Didn't he say at the last rose ceremony that he figured out who he was going to pick the night before, when Gabby said, you should have just let me go home when you knew? And he was like, oh, I didn't know until last night. But then fast forward to when Katie and Zach were on the couch. Jesse asked Zach, when did you know Katie was the one? And he said, during our last date. So unless the last date was the night before the last rose ceremony, I think our honest Abe is a liar. Thanks. Have a good night.
Thank you, Nicole from Ohio. Yeah, never get caught in a lie if you're hanging with Nicole. She'll straighten you right out. She's got flow charts and laser pointers and yarn. She's, you know what I mean? Look, I don't have the timeline for me, but I'm sure somebody who's as obsessive as we are will put one together. I have it under the assumption that the last dates happened after the fantasy suite and the last date was Katie. I don't know if that's true. There's so much editing and things spun around. I'm half watching. I'm eating potato skins. I don't know. But we will for sure come back to this story if there is something there about him getting caught in a lie.
Hi, this is Renee again from Owings Mills, Maryland. I'm definitely piggyback on the call that just just the message that was just left a couple of minutes ago. Yes, he actually did admit on air, and I picked up on that too, that he knew for a while that Rachel was the one. So, but I really, really feel bad for Gabby, but, hopefully she'll heal. It'll be, some time before she heals, but she'll be fine. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And Gabby will heal. We know that it is fresh. She just watched the whole show. As far as Zach getting caught in a lie, I'm not here to defend Zach. I'm just not. You guys can speculate that, but I need to see some more information, which, again, I'm sure people will get their flow charts and their daily planners out and figure it out. By the way, Henry with the super chat, $1. Thank you so much from Henry. Much appreciate that. Really appreciate the support, and it looks like we have another one coming, which we will get to in a second here. But let's continue with the voicemails. You guys can leave a voicemail, 401-213-9828. Where did the voicemail box go? I had a voicemail box here. Hold on. I'm just having a little issue with my graphics here. There's the voicemail box. So if you guys want to call in, 401-213-9828. 401-213-9828. If there's anyone who hasn't called in before, now's your chance. I'd love to hear from you guys. And Tammy said Dave does need to do the live chats more often. Well, thank you so much. I would like to do more live chats. They do take a lot of time, and the schedule is really busy. We make a lot of content, but maybe that's something that we can think about. We used to have them on Thursdays in the afternoons, but it really cut into stand-up comedy. It's a real delicate balance doing this full-time, doing stand-up comedy full-time, being a full-time husband and a full-time dad to a elderly basset hound who has had at least 4 accidents in the house today, but not either way. I do appreciate all the love and support.
Hey, Dave, this is Captain the Source from downtown Canada, Toronto. Just wanted to talk about how Canada has taken over the Bachelor Nation with, Crystal Bristow and Jesse now being the hosts, and Blake, Nate, Serena, and Katie having now been the winners in the last few seasons. I will apologize for my comment earlier. My big question would be, now that the leaked photos were considered spot on with the Katie and with Katie, is this now an issue in the future that leaks could become a bigger thing in Bachelor Nation? Cheers.
Well, it's a good question, and thank you so much for calling in. Leaks happen every year. It's only the second time that a photo has been leaked from the set, which we'll get to. By the way, Rhea posted this. I was wrong, but are you not entertained? Hey, look, she's doing what she needs to do, which is own it. And Reality Steve over here, let's see what he's commenting. He said, Jess shows up now in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Salty Steve. I tell you what, Salty Steve is the best Steve. And by the way, look at this. Video of Charity on her one-on-one date. I know not everyone wants to see this, but Charity's on a one-on-one date in San Diego. So she clearly had a very busy day. And if you wanted, we had I'd have to go a little ways back, but Reality Steve did have the photo. Let's see if we can find it here. I mean, it's probably a couple of weeks ago, he had the photo from the finale, which we can now confirm, of course, is Zach and Katie. Although we did know it was Zach and Katie at the time, and some people were trying to make it seem like, oh, maybe, people were saying like, oh, maybe it was what do they call it, a red herring? Maybe Zach's not really with Katie. And then the idea that Zach's now with Jess creeped up because, of course, the Rhea spoiler. All right, we'll look for that, but let's play another voicemail. Let's go back to Lexi in Minnesota. And again, guys, call in if you want, 401-213-9828. And don't forget, this is a subathon, so we're trying to get this number up to 66,500. If you haven't already, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. And you might wonder, why do I need to subscribe? Well, when you subscribe, the only thing it really does is it tells YouTube that I'm doing a good job, and it helps YouTube promote me. And some people have said, Dave, I wish you would do more live streams. If they got more views, as they tend to do, it would make my decision a little bit easier because I kind of have to follow the market. But I do appreciate all the new subscribers coming in. You're all welcome.
Hey Dave, it's Lexi from Minneapolis, Minnesota again. I also just wanted to say the thing with Ariel is that when she was asking him why he didn't, have the respect to let her know that he had slept with Gabby as well, it was obviously because he knew he was sending her home. Like, he knew she didn't really matter. Not that she didn't matter, but it didn't matter enough for her to know. And I think when she asked him on stage, she just didn't want to be that transparent with her, which is interesting because he's all about transparency, right? Oh, just frustrating.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Great point. Yeah. Zach learned his lesson about being honest. What did he want to tell Ariel? Hey, I just knew for sure it wasn't you. He knew for sure that she wasn't top two. And then he was hoping to, do the whole no sex thing. It didn't work. The most ironic part to me was when Zach said the idea, maybe Ariel said this, to be honest. I don't want to give him credit. She said, you tried to make the whole thing about not having sex, which made the whole thing about having sex. And it is a little bit of the old Barbara Streisand effect, as they call it. All right, let's go to the good old state of Oklahoma.
Ann in Oklahoma. Hey, what was the last chance date with Katie? I mean, we saw the horses on the beach there with Gabby, but other than the fantasy suite stuff in the prior issue, or was that during the audio problem, or did I miss something that I didn't see? So they just went from sorrowful stuff with Gabby to the engagement. So what actually was the last chance date with Katie? Thank you.
I'll be honest, I was eating a lot of potatoes and I had a lot of starchy food. That might have been the scene they cut, for all I know. Maybe they aired it. I'm not really sure. And Ariel's going to be on Nick Vile's podcast. We will be covering it first thing in the morning. Here it is. She's in that nice little denim number. Oh, there she is, ready to talk. Okay, all right, we get it. We see what's going on. There it is, big old headphones. Those headphones are too big. What are we doing? Either she's got the smallest head, and I know she doesn't, and there's no offense to people with small heads. Those headphones are so, you're just having a conversation. Little ear monitors, all you need. All right. Let's go to Jill outside of Toronto.
Hi, Dave. It's Jill from outside Toronto calling again. I'm calling because I don't know if this has been covered, but I have a theory that Zach actually did sleep with Katie as well, but he actually kept his promise and didn't speak about it because he could sort of learn his lesson. I don't know. I'm just getting vibes that he was tight-lipped because of the guilt he was feeling. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yeah, bye. Thank you so much. The question, the theory, as you had it here, was that Zach probably also had sex with Katie. My thought was, and it's like we can speculate all we want, I guess. My thought was once he had sex with Gabby and he was still on the fence, I would say have sex with Katie. Like, you've already violated the thing you're going to violate. If you aren't sure who you're going to pick, That's really what it comes down to. You know, you hate to say it, but sex in the fantasy suite really comes down to it's a tiebreaker. If you know you're going to pick somebody, although what if he knew, and again, like, I'm not saying this was the case. What if Zach knew that he was going to pick Gabby and the sex was so bad he changed his mind? That's not what happened. But is there an instance where the physical connection with somebody is so good it changes your mind? I don't know. Does that happen too often? You know, because in the real world, we don't have this sort of litmus test. Maybe the litmus test is the wrong way to phrase it. But we don't have this control study here where we're dating multiple people and we go, well, this one's better here. I'm more physically attracted to them. In the real world, relationships peter off, or someone cheats on you, or whatever happens. But you usually don't have these like A-B comparisons to make like you do on The Bachelor, when it's essentially the NCAA. It's a Final Four event, right? So, all right. And we've got our first post by Zach. Let's go and check this out here. If you enjoy this content, by all means, get up on the subscribe button. Zach posts this Neal Lane photo, contractually obligated to post. He's the least followed bachelor in modern history. And he says, the love of my life. The woman right here deserves the world, and I'm beyond thankful to have her in my life. I fall in love with you more and more each and every day. I love you, best friend. I thought it was very funny when he called her his best friend, because it was almost like it's like, I get it. You know, I understand, you know, if you love someone, they're probably your best friend too. Like, I totally get that. But it's funny on the TV show when he says, it's like he just broke up with Gabby, and then he calls Katie his love and his best friend. And I'm like, leave it to me to feel like it's easier to fall in love with someone on TV than it is to find your best friend on TV. Does that make sense? And again, it could be different for everybody, but that's my little hypothesis, that the settings can be right to fall in love. You know, nice weather, some alcohol, good bodies, bumping Harrisons, pumping Palmers. But to find a best friend, that requires a lot of effort, doesn't it? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let's keep going with the voicemails. Tammy's calling in.
Hey, Dave, it's Tammy calling from Maine. Love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
I just got to say,
this whole thing.
You know, how long do you think that they're going to be able to keep up with this whole psychological abuse type of thing? One kind of thing. I'd love to hear what Diane Strakowski has to say on this, because I think it's kind of an interesting perspective. So eventually people are going to be too outraged, you know, and they're just going to end up saying, hey, it's too much. Are they going to get it down? I mean, it's kind of hard to see or sad to see because we all love the show. Anyway, thanks so much for everything. Love you, sweetie.
Thank you so much for the call and for the respect for the shirt. You know, this was a gift from one of our amazing power listeners. The question was, how long are they going to keep up the charades? How long are they going to keep up the psychological abuse? And I just wrote down Dr. Diane. So we'll try to get Dr. Diane we'll try to get her to Skype in this week, because, yeah, it is kind of like a psychological abuse in the sense that they're kind of sleep deprived. They're kind of not eating well. They're taken away from their home. They have all the telltale aspects of being in a cult, really. And then they're subjected to public humiliation, heartbreak. It's torturous. It's torturous. Is there any way to defend the show? I don't know. You just hope the show doesn't bring Gabby straight to the airport after. Like, the show should keep the producer with Gabby for the travel and get her home with her friends. Like, a producer should be walking Gabby back home to her friends and family. Because, you know, the show might not be flying back on the same flight as Gabby. So it's like, what are you just going to send some heartbroken? And that doesn't mean they can't offer more. The show always says, we have a therapist for the people that need it. There are people that have a lot of pride and don't know how to ask for help and think they can do it all themselves. You need to not have a therapist for people that you think may need it. You need to assign a therapist for everyone who's like top 3, top 4, and anyone who's been vilified on the show. Is my thought. Okie dokie. What do I know? Hey, Willie Billy with a $10 super chat. Willie Billy, I wrote your name down. Thank you so much, Willie Billy, right here. So we've got Sabine, Tipperary, Teresa, Henry, and Willie with the super chats. If anyone else has a super chat and I didn't get to them, please let me know. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I appreciate you guys out there. So these super chats equal, I said every super chat dollar equals a new sub. So that's about $35 or so on super chat. So when we add that to this, that's about 30, 40, 35, 45, 50, 66,350. I'll be quite honest. I might have shot too high. I don't know if you guys can do it. I don't know if we got enough people we got 830 in the chat. To have this in perspective, I feel like we had about 1,100 in the chat for maybe Bachelor in Paradise. So it really feels like we don't have as many people. Maybe there's just less speculation. Maybe there's less to talk about. All right, back to Jen in Canada.
Hey, David. This is B again from Hamilton. Yes, I've been drinking. It's Bachelor Monday. What do you expect from me, my good sir?
Wine by the bottle.
So my kind of question now is, they said 2025 wedding, and I slammed the table and said, reasonable, absolutely reasonable. Because they hardly know each other, that seems like such a reasonable time. You roasted me for my wedding. I aired out all my dirty laundry to you. And, we were on and off a little bit in our teen years. And I think, a good 2 years of solid dating would be a perfectly reasonable wedding date. What do you and Dave Nation, think about that, guy?
Yeah.
Have a good night. Bye.
I mean, look, for anybody who wants them to get married faster, I'd say it's some level of projection. You want to see a fairy tale romance or whatever. There's no rush. Either they work out or they don't. Now, they already live in the same city, so that's a big deal. Will they stay in Austin? I think if they stay in Texas, they might have a shot. If they move out to LA, who knows? LA has a way of murdering relationships, specifically in the Bachelor Nation world. What we see, someone posted a funny thing. They were like, oh, so it could have just been a Hinge date. The idea that Zach and Katie could have just met in real life, in person. All right, back to Oklahoma.
And again from Oklahoma. You had a great show that you did a couple days ago about statistics, how they play the games with statistics. I'm wondering if this whole rumor mill was Ray and NBC couldn't say anything, so she would keep her mouth shut, but she was laughing about it. It may sound like a conspiracy theory coming out of Oklahoma here, but were they so desperate to get their ratings up, to get people to view in and watch tonight's show, that they needed all of this false rumor mill all of last week to hopefully bring in some viewers to play their games with their statistics when it was all just a big lie? What do you think?
It's a good question. The question being whether or not this Rhea fake spoiler was all a conspiracy. A conspiracy to drum up the ratings. My guess is no, but I don't think Rhea was in on it, but maybe someone from production did tip Rhea off in the wrong direction. That could have happened. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, look, guys, I think we're down to our final voicemail. Can you believe this? We might be down to our final voicemail. And we have so many people in the chat. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to extend this live stream. Call in, but don't call in if you have nothing to say, because that'll just be annoying. If you want to call in, feel free. What I'm going to do is come back for the West Coast live stream. I'm going to give the West Coast a tight, fun, I'm going to eat an edible beforehand, just so you guys know. I got my new sponsor, microdose.com, which, by the way, if you haven't seen, microdose.com sponsored us for 3 weeks in a row on the podcast Bachelor Rush Hour. So if you're a member of Bachelor Rush Hour, which is free, to join the podcast, it's free. I think people get confused and think Patreon costs money, podcast is free. But if you want to join the podcast or follow or listen, you can get 30% off your first order there. But this isn't, they don't pay me to say that here. I'm just telling you that that's where you can go get that. Okie dokie. So anyway, we'll play a couple more voicemails. We'll come back for the West Coast hour, which will be 11 p.m. Pacific time. So if anyone's around West Coast, I know I didn't do many West Coast or any West Coast live streams this season. It's extremely difficult for me to do, spending all day long making live streams in content. So I'm trying to limit the live streams for my own sanity. But let's go to Steve in Tucson.
Hi, Dave. It's Dee from Tucson.
Dee.
I just wanted to ask you about your beautiful puppies. I just wanted to hear,
some things about your beautiful puppies, if I could. Thank you.
Sure. I only have one. I have a 14-year-old basset hound named Boone, and I don't know if there's anything to share other than he's doing well. He has accidents inside because he's an old doggo, but other than that, he's been perfectly fine. I can show you some photos of him, but you can go to my Instagram to see those. He's not in the room. He must be in the other room, but yeah. The dog's doing just fine. Here's a Instagram video of him. This is our dog. This was him laying down in my lap as we picked out some crusties from his groin area. So there's my wife. This is what you got to do when your dog's old. You know, I mean, look, he is the best looking dog you'll ever see. It's no doubt about that. But now he's got a sort of a lower back issue. Dogs with long spines can sometimes have their lower backs give out because like their nerve endings don't quite fire there. So he is front heavy with most of his weight, which is good. So he has a very hard time pushing off with his back legs. So he falls here and there, but he doesn't complain, not once. He hasn't complained once. So we really like Boone and he's doing really well. He is a good boy.
Hi, Dave and everyone in the chat. This is Jen from North Carolina.
Jen.
I haven't had a chance to call in that much this season, so I just want to say that overall, I liked this season. I liked that it seemed like there was more intentionality. I know that it's a show, but I still always hope that there will be love because love has been found for some people, and I'm like, it can work, but I definitely agree that using Gabby's name and her not realizing it, the fact that she didn't know that it was going to be aired, all of that just makes it a lot worse. There's a part of me that's like, hey, we all know this is how the show works. You know, even if they don't talk about it, most people assume what goes down in the rooms. I respected his decision to not want to be intimate. I think that was a wise decision had he followed through on that. But because he didn't and then needed to discuss it, it just really backfired in such a terrible way. And I feel really bad for her. And just really feel bad that he would do that so close to the end, knowing that Katie was probably his choice. So I really feel for her. I do hope that she finds her happiness, and I hope that they can find their happiness too.
Thank you so much for calling in, Jen from North Carolina. We missed you. Phone lines are always open for you, Jen. Thank you so much for calling in. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, it's tough. I mean, the way that, and I don't want to reiterate too much, but the way that Gabby explained to the audience, I don't think this was her intention, but the description she used made it so much more palpable. She said, Zach, I was, I don't know, at the sink getting ready. You walked up behind me and you said, this is just between us. And it just had this real dark, the whole audience was like, oh boy. Because everyone was wondering, oh, maybe Zach didn't know he shouldn't kiss and tell. He knew. RM with $1 super chat. Thank you so much, RM, for that chat. We appreciate you. I've written you down. I appreciate you so much. It all helps. The old engine run. So thank you so much. A couple more voicemails. Let's get to them. How are we doing over there? 7:30. So we have a couple people bouncing out. I understand. We'll get out of here in a couple minutes here. We've been live for 70 minutes, 80 minutes already. Play a couple more of your voicemails, and then we'll come back for 11 p.m. Pacific time. I'll come back for maybe a half an hour nightcap live stream.
Hi, this is Chatty Cathy.
Chatty Cathy.
And I'm calling from North Carolina. And I wanted to comment on the Zach situation with Gabby. And I can only imagine how horrified Gabby was and is, and how embarrassing for him to say on national TV something so private that's sacred to many women, and especially to her. And it just kind of gives me a little bit of a question mark as to Zach's mentality and decision making in the future. He's somewhat outdated, and he's quick to make a jump into something and just wrong. And you don't kiss and tell. So anyway, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you don't kiss and tell. That's absolutely right. You got that right. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for checking in with us, Chatty Cathy. So RM actually sent a $20 super chat. So that's 21 total dollars from RM. And then Dawn, our good friend Dawn, says super chat solely to inquire, where are we at towards the sub goal money-wise? P.S. Loving how the title wife rolls off the tongue versus fiance. Yeah, wife is way easier to say. Way easier to say. So as far as the chat goes, we're at 66,319. And with regards to the added super chats, that adds about 60. So we're still about 120 away. But these numbers don't really mean much. I mean, they mean a lot to me. We'd love to get to 100,000. When you get to, you want to be quite honest, I feel foolish saying how important 100,000 subs means because the last year the growth has been so slow subscriber-wise. The channel was fantastic this last year. The podcast is fantastic. So by all means, I'm just trying to do right by me and give you guys my most authentic self. That's all I'm trying to do. I've had people tell me, Dave, if you were less controversial about certain topics, you'd have a bigger fan base. And I just have to tell them politely, I can't do that. That's grifting. If I'm not going to be genuine and tell you how I feel, I can't be doing this just to maximize revenue. That's icky to me. I have to stick to who I am. And if that means 66,000 subscribers, well, I am so dang proud to have you guys. So dang proud. And the rest can go, do whatever they want to do. But I'm going to be here, and you guys know where to find me. All right, a couple more voicemails. Georgia, Leanne, you're up.
Hey, Dave. It's Leanne from Georgia. I really appreciate you and enjoy you. But Sean and Catherine, of course, were fine. They were, of course, going to be there. But I really didn't appreciate how Nate was there. I think that was Nate.
Yes.
N-A-Y-T-E. After his shenanigans got exposed. So, thank you.
Yeah, Nate, of course, was the one who had Kelsey, who Reality Steve exposed. He was like sort of dating. They dated for months, but she never knew that he had a kid. It's a whole whatever. I don't know. I'm sure Nate's a good guy. I actually saw him at a party, and I didn't go up to him. I don't feel like I was too hard on him. Because I personally, I feel like the show here's what happens. The show exposes whatever lies you were telling yourself. So Nate, with a Y, was living a life where he could have a daughter and still be an F-boy and not let those two combine. But once you're on the show, you can't do that anymore. So trickery is exposed. And, it doesn't mean he's a bad guy. And like I said before about extending grace, I think we could extend Nate some grace. He was really just there as Zach's friend. I mean, he's not there because he's got some sort of telltale story. They I don't know. You know what I mean? All right. We've got our friend Mimi in Pittsburgh. Good friend calling in.
Hi, Dave. This is Mimi from Pittsburgh. Just calling to say that I think that was a bad idea of having Gabby on for embarrassing herself on TV, talking about everything. But I think it ended up being instead of after the final Rose, it was after the final Gabby. I think she was on there a bit too long. Bye.
Yeah, well, you know what, Mimi? I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'll say this. I can't imagine how hard it would be to express myself on live TV feeling as much pain as I felt that Gabby did. For sure, it was a lot. I mean, I wrote this in my notes. That might have been the longest, and I don't think we'll ever have any stats. I don't know if Bachelor Data is going to do this research, but I feel like she must have been, and now again, maybe this is just my imagination. Just my imagination, once again, running away with me. Ooh. But I feel like Gabby was talking for 4 minutes straight. And it's wild to think that ABC, one of the largest networks in the country, which is one of the largest countries in the world, had one person talking on live TV for that long. And that's fun. But she wasn't as succinct as Ariel. And I don't blame her. she was watching a lot of things back all at once. So yeah, it was a lot to ask. And sometimes it pays off with some crazy stump speech, and sometimes it doesn't. And I think Gabby still came off well. I just think there was a lot of like, respectfully, there was a lot of like, I don't know, redundancies and kind of like walking around what she wanted to say because, it was a tough scenario.
Hi, Dave. It's Pahila calling from Baltimore again. I wasn't able to tune in until now to your live stream. I know I'm just at the end of it, so I apologize in advance if you've already addressed this or someone's already asked this question. But my question is, what do you think are the odds of Katie and Gabby maintaining their friendship, like for life? I feel like it's easier said than done. I totally 100% believe that they grew super close on the show and that they still may be close. But, how close can you be when, your best friend's fiance is your ex that you were in love with? So, yeah, that's my question. Do you think they'll stay friends or not? Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I mean, does Gabby get an invite to the wedding in 2025? Here, look, if anyone's ever been heartbroken, the best way to get over being heartbroken is to bang a lot of strangers. No, the best way to get over is time. Time is the best way. Live a good life is the best way. And there will come a time when Gabby can hear the name Zach and not cringe. But we've all had exes where if anyone, I won't even say their names, let's just say Jessica. If anyone said the name Jessica, immediately I'd be like, ooh, because I know some Jessica who really effed my heart up. We all have that. So I think but does Gabby need to have a friendship with Katie? I mean, they're kind of like, I make this comparison and it sometimes offends people because some people have a hard time contextualizing comparisons. But it's like if you studied abroad with a group of people. It's like if you were in the army with a group of people. It's like if you experienced, I don't know, a catastrophic event with a group of people. You share something that bonds you in a way where you can't find other people to relate to you. And that happens in good times and in bad times. And like no one's like your college friends because we all experience college together. That's how it happens. So they'll always have that bond, but it's probably healthy for Gabby to like also, embrace her other friendships, I would think. By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast. Today's episode is trending about 30 to 50% higher than my average episode. So I want to thank you guys so much for all downloading today's podcast episode. It's still available. And if you guys want to watch my interview with Reality Steve, that's actually available on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. So you can go check that out there. As far as the sub-a-thon goes, are we going to hit our goal? It doesn't look like it. Not yet, at least. Maybe we'll hit it for the West Coast version. But I'm going to get out of here. Let's see if I have any other voicemails. I'm all caught up on voicemails. So here's what I'm going to do. I hate to leave the chat with so many people here, but I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be back in 90 minutes at 11 p.m. Pacific time, and I'm going to give you guys the hardest 36 minutes I could give. I'm going to give it all to you, and then some. If you want more content in the meantime, I implore you, please give the podcast a shot. Bachelor Rush Hour is available wherever you listen to podcasts. The other way you can get it is just by going to my Linktree. If you just type in linktree.com/Dave Neal, the first button, it's got all the Patreons, PayPal, whatever, all the different ways you can hang out. Newsletter, if you haven't joined the newsletter, you click on this and it'll just, ask for your address, not because I'm going to stalk you, but it'll let you know if I'm performing in your neck of the woods. So thank you guys all so much for all of the support and all the different ways you've supported me. If you want, you can go to Patreon, click on that, and then you can join our community. We're almost at 300 members. We kind of fluctuate between 280 to 320. We kind of go. But I do Patreon nearly every single day. I give you my live stand-up shows. Actually, my favorite, so I've got this full interview here, which you can check out. This is all loaded up on Patreon right here.
At this point, I just kind of brace myself for I know it's coming, Yeah.
But it's hard to say when, like last season was a perfect example. Like, what's his nuts? Who was our Bachelor?
Okay, so you can go watch that, and then I've got other content there. I've got my work with Dave videos and a stand-up comedy clip. This was a fun one.
Next comedian, he have a lot of YouTube followers. Please follow him. Please give it up for Dave Neal.
I should have gone to your host. Let her hear it, everybody. When you have a lot of YouTube subscribers, it means your acting career didn't take off. That's what I'm the other guy. The other guy's older, non-successful brother. That's what I am. I look like Bradley Cooper in Limitless before he took the pill to become successful. And I'm here with you guys just waiting for it to work, Do you guys see the movie Limitless?
This was a very dirty set where we were talking about Harry Potter.
My dad doesn't believe in either.
Anyway, sometimes people get blocked by accident. So if you got blocked, sorry. Anyone can DM me if they feel like they were not blocked or if they were blocked wrongly or whatever. So by all means, so all of that content is available on the podcast. Oh, this is me editing some videos. You can go watch that. If you're into YouTube in any which way, those might interest you. But of course, at the very least, if you could join the podcast and give me a shot over there, I plan on making it a 50-50 venture with the YouTube channel. That meaning I plan on giving it time and energy to make it the best I can every single day. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to do a hard out right now. I'll be back at 11 p.m. in just under 90 minutes to watch the West Coast reaction with you guys. And I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Bye, everybody.